We're on the road with Mickey, we're gonna have some fun. Regardless of the rain or sun, our trip has just begun. So buckle up, let's go, we're about to start the show. And maybe if you like us, you'll see where else we'll go. Hi everyone, I'm Sophie, he's Mike. Welcome to our little corner of the podcasting universe. Hopefully you like the sound of our voices and you want to stick around for the show. Not that it stays in one place for long. I mean, after all, we are on the road with Mickey. So hop in the car and buckle up your seat belts because we've got an awesome adventure this week. Now a brief rundown before we get moving. First up, our roundtable talk where we'll discuss the main topic for this week, followed by some Disney trivia ranging from Disney history to a random Disney character of the day. Well, that's just about it. Everybody ready? Let's get this show on the road.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike, and she's Sophie.
Merry Christmas!
And happy holidays! We're on the road with Mickey. This is episode number 48 for December 14th, 2020. And our feature topic this week is A Night of a Million Lights. This is the fundraiser that is going on over at Give Kids the World Village. And we were able to see it and we loved it and we want to talk to you about it. And as you can see, Sophie has a really cool background and I have a cool background. Can you see it, Soph?
Oh yes, I can see it and it looks absolutely amazing. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, then I'm sure you probably agree with us that this was absolutely stunning.
And those are just two examples of the 175 photos that I took. And we are going to show at the end of the video, at the end of the YouTube, you'll see a video montage of the pictures that we took. So get ready for that at the end. Don't fast forward though. We got a lot we want to talk about. But
definitely stick around.
Yeah, but like everything, we always start out with our cheddar from the big cheese, and we've got some interesting things that are happening that we wanted to relay to you guys. First thing was that if you remember our attraction refresh podcast from a few weeks back, you may remember my ideas for Dinoland USA, which sadly Disney hasn't called me yet to say, Mike, we want to use your ideas. And I don't know that they would call me anyway. But one interesting tidbit of information was that the ride vehicles from Primeval Whirl were seen heading away from Animal Kingdom sometime last week. I think I saw the post on Instagram on like the 10th. So
yeah.
So what
and
is that? That would have been Thursday of last week.
And for those of you who are unaware, Primeval Whirl has closed for good. It's always been that sort of ride that's been open only when the weather allows it to be. But it has closed for good, and there are a lot of things in Dinoland USA that are closed right now. Dinosaur is not one of them.
No,
so don't worry for all of you. For all of you thrill riders, you can ride it many, many times. For me, while I go get a turkey leg, it's fine. It's still open. But yes, Primeval Whirl and a lot of other stuff with Dinoland USA are closed.
Yeah. So anyway, from Disney on what's going to happen over there, but I'm kind of curious, I almost can't wait to hear what the plans are because it definitely needs some work. So
yeah, it definitely does.
Anyway,
but
talk to us about Disney Plus, Sophie.
I definitely will. In fact, it's not just Disney Plus, but this also pertains to the big screen. I'm kind of looping these two together into one.
Okay.
And first things first, coming to Disney Plus, there is going to be a prequel series to Beauty and the Beast, As you guys know, the live action Beauty and the Beast, which I think is visually stunning,
Mhm.
it starred Luke Evans and Josh Gad as Gaston and LeFou. I know
Yep.
Josh Gad was LeFou. I'm not quite sure about Gaston. I think it was Luke Evans.
Luke Evans
And
was
then,
Gaston. Yeah.
yep. So this is a prequel series to Beauty and the Beast, and it will be starring these two, as this is mainly their story, since we both know that Belle really doesn't like the little village where she is. And the name of the series hasn't officially been released, but there is a rumor that it will be called The Little Town, which makes a lot of sense if it's going to be focusing around the place where Belle started out and
Mhm.
not the Beast Castle.
Yeah,
So
and
I'm actually kind of curious about it. I'm
yeah, I
very
am
picky with
too.
what I watch.
Can I give a
So,
little bit of information?
oh,
Just
please go
a little
on.
bit more I
Sorry.
heard is that that Belle, that they're in talks with Belle, and with Dan Stevens, who played the Beast,
Hmm.
about being in the show as well. But like you said, it's a prequel, so it's primarily about Gaston and LeFou. But
Hmm.
but they're trying to get the other two to also be in the series. So that would be,
Yep.
I think that would be kind of cool.
And I think it's really cool because we all know that Emma Watson is the one who played Belle, and she is Hermione Granger, so it really, really fits that she plays two brunette bookworms.
Yep.
But then the next thing I have, and this pertains to the big screen, not to Disney Plus, this is something that will be coming to theaters once those theaters reopen. Harrison Ford, the very famous Han Solo, but also the very famous other character that I'm about to mention, has been cast to play Indiana Jones in the fifth and final installment of the Indiana Jones movie series.
Yeah. My understanding is filming is supposed to start in 2021, and the movie was slated to be released in July of 2022.
That
Which, the way this
sounds,
is going, you blink and it's going to be 2022.
well,
Almost.
yeah, I can only hope that 2021 is going to be a better year than 2020.
Definitely. Definitely.
Everyone say Jumanji now.
Jumanji.
Yeah, let's get out of this, please. So anyway, that's all I have. I think there's one more, Daddy.
Yep, I've got one more thing, and that is airline related. Um, Supposedly coming in 2021, scheduled to come in 2021, nonstop flights on Hawaiian Airlines from Orlando, Florida to Honolulu, Hawaii. So, if you are going to Disney World and you want to maybe have a couple nights stay at Alani in Hawaii, then you've got a nonstop flight you can book that will take you there. You don't have to worry about all sorts of connections and things like that. You get on the plane in Orlando, and you get off the plane in Honolulu, and you're in Hawaii. So hopefully that will happen, and it'll be a big time. Um, it'll work really well for Hawaiian Airlines, so that it's not something that they just try and then have to stop because it doesn't work well for them. So
Yeah. So let's hope
interesting to
it's
see how
good.
that works. Yeah, I'm real interested to see how that works out. So
Mm-hmm.
all the cheddar from the big cheese that we have. But
Yep,
Sophie, why don't you give us the rundown one more time of how they can connect with us, how the listeners can connect with us?
definitely. We always love to hear it when you have something to say to us. So you can find us and reach us on Facebook in our group that is On the Road with Mickey on Facebook, and we are also on YouTube on the Road with Mickey. Thank you to all of you who are watching us from that platform.
Yes,
We are
thank you.
on we are on Instagram as On the Road with Mickey at On the Road with Mickey, and we also have an email. So if none of the social media platforms work for you, you can simply email us at info@ontheroadwithmickey.com and leave us a voicemail too if you prefer to talk to us on the phone at 919-799-8390. I almost said 979. That was embarrassing. Again, that is 919-799-8390. Please talk to us.
Yeah, reach out to us. Thank you, Sophie. You did perfectly on that one.
Thank you.
So that wraps up our cheddar from the big cheese, and it's time to get into the nuts and bolts of our feature topic, and we're talking about the Night of a Million Lights.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I purchased tickets for Cindy, myself, and Sophie for after our Walt Disney World trip ended. We checked out of Pop Century on November 27th, and that night we we went to Kissimmee, Florida. Not Kissimmee, but Kissimmee. I always said it Kissimmee or Kissimmee because I was a kid and I thought that was the funny way to say it.
Yeah.
But it's Kissimmee, and we and that's where the Give Kids the World Village is located. So, first thing I thought we would do is give a little rundown about what we're talking about. So, Sophie, you want to give us a couple of those bullet items that we talked about?
Definitely. There is a lot to unpack when it comes to this event. It's not Disney, therefore, we definitely needed to write down a bunch more just so we could remember what all to tell you guys about.
Mm-hmm.
And like Daddy said, it is in Kissimmee, Florida. It runs from now until January 3rd. It was actually running, I
I
think,
think,
since before Thanksgiving.
yeah, well before Thanksgiving, like I think November 13th. Yeah,
Yeah,
it started November 13th.
yes.
And so,
And it is running until January 3rd of 2021. It
mhm,
is a fundraiser, and all of the proceeds go to benefit the Give Kids the World Village, which is an absolutely magical place to visit, even if it weren't covered in lights, I believe,
yeah,
because it is just such a pretty place to go. And there are so many amazing, heartwarming stories there. And I absolutely loved going. And
yeah,
unfortunately, I have to say that due to this pandemic that we're in, the Give Kids the World Village had to close to Wish Families, which is all the families that come to stay there when they are giving their kids their wish that they wanted. And they come to stay, and unfortunately, it has had to close in mid-March due to the pandemic, and it has delayed more than 6,000 wishes to be granted.
yeah. So the Night of a Million Lights is designed to raise funds so that we can ensure that the wishes of the critically ill children can return bigger and better than ever before once the time is right to reopen. So, like Sophie said, everything that they're doing with this fundraiser with the Night of a Million Lights is all about making sure that the wishes that the kids have can be fulfilled. And it breaks your heart when you think about 6,000 critically ill children who can't do what they wanted to do because they're sick and because the pandemic happened and we're not able to do what they would want to do. What Give Kids the World is has done for over 34 years, you know. So
Yeah.
so it really is a big time fundraiser for them. So if you are in the Orlando area and you're able to do this for your family, just know that you're doing it not just for your family to enjoy the night, but you're benefiting thousands of people, you know, that that need all the help they can get right now. So
Mhm.
so we do have some ticket costs. There are the best place to go for ticket information is the website gktw.org. That stands for Give Kids the World /lights. So gktw.org/lights. And there's a
And that
link.
is, yeah, I was going to say, we're definitely going to put that in the show notes.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a link for the buy tickets page. And they have right now they have peak dates and they have holiday dates, and it depends on which day you want to go as to whether it's a peak date or a holiday date. And a peak date, the prices for tickets are $35 per adult and $18 per kid per child. um, and if you have a holiday date that you want to go, let's say you wanted to go right on Christmas Day, um, then a holiday date is $40 per adult and $20 per kid. And like I said, every penny of this is going towards the Give Kids the World Village. So it's definitely a fundraiser, and just from what we saw, it was worth every penny that we paid for it. So,
Mm-hmm.
and lastly, there are over 3 million lights on display in this village, and they were donated by the Walt Disney World Resort.
Yep.
And we understand, I don't know for certain, but our understanding is that these lights were part of the lights that they used for the Osborne family light
Yes.
display that they used to have at Hollywood Studios.
That
So,
is exactly what they were for. I remember there being many signs thanking Walt Disney World for that.
yeah. And then they also have individual cottages. So if you're a Wish kid and you and your family are brought down to the village to stay while you're having fun and able to go to Walt Disney World, you're staying in a cottage, and there are individual cottages that were decorated, and they were sponsored by local businesses. So they were able to put up their business sign and decorate with lights and so forth, and add their own touch to make it really stand out for them. So it was really kind of neat to see all that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said earlier, we have 175 pictures that we took, and we're going to make a video run through of those pictures, so that and it'll we'll add that to the end of our video so you can see just exactly how it looked. But it was really really neat. So Sophie, did you have a favorite um, house or a favorite time or a favorite section that really stood out to you the most?
I have to say that my favorite part of the entire village would be the Castle of the Stars.
Yeah, that was a good one. So talk a
Yes.
little bit. Do you remember what they said about why there's stars there?
Okay, so I remember the story that they told me, and basically, there was a little girl. Wait, no, that's the story of Amber. Never mind.
That's Amber.
So, yeah, and Ambertown was an amazing part of the village as well. That's an entirely different section on its own. But the Castle of the Stars, basically, for every Wish family that comes to the Give Kids the World Village, the Wish child, which is what they call the child that the entire wish was made for, will
Mm-hmm.
get a gold star.
Yep.
And that child can write their name on it and customize it any way they want.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the only thing that sets the child apart from his or her brothers and sisters, because aside from that star, they are all treated equally. as they should be,
Mm-hmm.
and they are all there to have fun with each other and be together as a family. But
Yeah.
that star that the Wish Child has customized and put their names on, it will be placed on the ceiling of the inside of the castle,
Yep.
and it will fill up the night sky with that child's wish. And they have over, well, they've served over 170,000 wish families, but I think they said there were only about 60,000 of those stars there because it didn't start right away. And I'm
Right.
not quite sure why I don't quite remember why it started.
I don't know why either specifically, but I was trying to see if I could find a picture. I have pictures the of the castle with the stars,
Yeah.
and I was going to see if I could find one of the pictures. Let's see here. Excuse me. Um, but yeah, the Castle of the Stars was so cool, and so there were so many stars in there, and and if you're a wish child and you do make your star, you decorate it however you want, and when
Mhm.
they put it there, you can come back at any time, they said, to come look at your star, and look and see all the different stars. So you have the ability to come back to the village. And
Yes. And I think the same thing goes for your family as well, up to I think 4 generations, I thought it said.
I think you're right. Here's a picture. Here's one.
Ah, yep, there they are, and that's only a section of that entire ceiling.
Yeah. And each one of those is a star that was done by a wish child. So
Mm-hmm.
that was, my pictures for that don't do justice because that was powerful. And Sophie, you touched on Amberville. So let me give a little bit of background about Amberville. If I
Yes.
can, I'm going to try. Um,
I think I remember the story, so I'll correct you if there's anything that I
yeah,
think
it's kind
we
of a
messed up
sad
on.
story, and
It
that's
is.
that's why I'm like, hopefully I can get through it. But Amberville is kind of like the. Am I right, Sophie? That it's kind of like the middle, the main area.
It
Where
is.
a lot
It's
of the different stuff is.
I think I remember we were by the check-in center where all of the Wish families go to get checked in, and then we walked around behind the back of it to get past it because we weren't allowed inside because COVID reasons. And I think right there, that is when it branched off into 3 areas. One area went towards the houses, the other went towards the Castle of Stars,
Yeah,
and the other went towards Amberville. So it was right by the front.
yeah. But Amber was a wish child back in the early days of Give Kids the World, and what happened was she had an illness, and um, they 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 brought her down, and then and her family
No,
was able to go.
they were trying to bring her down,
Right.
but they couldn't get the stuff done, and so she unfortunately passed away before her wish could be granted.
Okay. I'm just butchering it, and I'm sorry for that.
It's
But
okay.
because didn't she have a family member that also had came down with the same disease later, or the family
I
member was
do
the
not
first one?
I do not remember.
Okay. But anyway, um, with all of that, they built this village, and because of the impact that that family had on the founder, of the Give Kids the World, they named the village after her, and that's why they call it Amberville. So,
Mm-hmm.
so it was really kind of neat um, to live in that and to kind of see the impact that this family made, you know, on so many others who would never have known. And we would never have known that story if we weren't there to go to this event, you know. So it was, you know, when I first got the tickets, I thought of it as a great way for us to close out our vacation and to, you know, to to make one more memory before mommy and I came home and you got back into schooling. Um, but
Yeah,
but the event itself kind of grabs you and draws you in, and you realize
it
that it is so
does.
much more than just, you know, you making, you know, having a good time for a night with your family. It's about all these kids that get so much, have such a hard life, and this is one way to make it better for them, you know.
It really is.
So anyway,
And
so we're
you
not doing
don't real
justice with the event at all, but it's really a phenomenal thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
So yeah. And
anything else we want to talk about it?
um no, I think those are the two biggest things. Is there anything else you can think of?
We went to dinner beforehand
Yeah.
because you know me, I like to talk about food. Um, and we had Subway, which was good, and it was fine. You know, it was good dinner. But
Yeah.
um, but when we got there, we realized that they sold hot dogs and hamburgers and things like that. And you can get like a hot dog for like $3 and stuff like that. So if you do go and you want, you know, a quick little hot dog, hamburger, that kind of thing, then maybe save your cash and use it there and all that. You know, they also
Mm-hmm.
have as part of your ticket, you do get ice cream and hot chocolate if you desire. I didn't have hot chocolate because it wasn't very hot out. I mean, cold outside, so I didn't
Yeah.
want hot chocolate. But the ice cream was good. And then and they also have merchandise that you can buy as well. And part of the things that I did for us, for the three of us, was I also purchased glasses. Those glasses, Sophie, are ones that we purchased, the ones you talked about last week with the gingerbread and the stars and the candy canes. Um, they have several different varieties, but I purchased those as like an additional thing. So you know, you can buy those, and you can buy those when you're getting your regular tickets. You don't have to wait till you get there to buy them. You can make that purchase beforehand. So so anyway,
Yeah.
it's there's a lot that you can see and do, and the glasses were fun. You know, they're kind of whimsical because every now and again
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to wear them the whole time, but every
No.
now and again you would see a light display and you put them on, and then you'd see the gingerbread men, and it was kind of cool. Um and just for the record, Lindsay and even Meemaw
Yeah.
and Shane and Steph have all really enjoyed looking through those glasses. So they've got a new
Good.
life.
Good.
so so anyway, yeah, I like I said, we're not doing justice with it, but it was important that we talk about it to us.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
think beyond the little movie that I'm going to put at the end of our YouTube, I don't think I have anything else to talk about with the Night of a Million Lights.
I don't think I do either. It was really amazing to go and experience.
Yeah.
And I felt so glad that I could be a part of it, and I felt so glad that we helped to give money and funds to that village because it really is an amazing cause that they're doing.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say is when we were leaving, we spoke with one of the people that's on either on staff or volunteers there regularly, and I said that I made some comment, not thinking about how I want this to be like a family tradition, each year, and he was quick to point out that they hope that it's not a tradition because they hope next year at this time they'll have kids there, kids in the village.
That's
And I didn't even
true.
think about that. You think about, you're walking through this and it seems like this little incredible thing, but you don't think about the fact that the houses are there year round. It's just the lights and everything were added on top of it. So so hopefully they won't be doing this exact thing next year because that'll mean that there are kids getting their wishes fulfilled. So
Yeah,
he did indicate that if if possible, they would do something similar at a different venue um, next year if they're able to. So we'll see what happens there. But anyway, so that's my closing thought. Sophie, why don't you take us on our journey to this day in Disney history and tell us what you got for us?
definitely. And this entire episode has been one that has hit very close to my heart. So naturally, the the bit that I chose for this day in Disney history is also one that hits very close to my heart.
Yeah.
And it takes place on December 14th, 1966. Some of you who are extremely fond of Disney might also recognize that date. And on this day, Lily Disney visited her husband Walt at St. Joseph's Hospital across from his studio in Burbank, California. Although Walt was very ill, she was encouraged by the strength that he showed. His brother Roy paid him a visit at night, and they talked about company matters, Epcot, and Disney World. And it said that Walt looked up at the ceiling and pointed out the design of the new Florida park to a teary-eyed Roy. After Roy left, Walt asked to have his bed raised so that he could look towards the nearby Disney studios. At Roy's order, every one of the studio's lights was left on to shine through the night. And for those of you who still aren't quite sure what this day means, the next day, Walt Disney unfortunately passed away.
Yep. Dang.
I'm sorry, Daddy,
Sorry,
I didn't
honey.
mean to make you cry.
It's okay. It's okay. You know,
Hmm.
there's so much about Walt Disney we don't know. But what we do know, places like Disneyland, Walt Disney World, my my blog, our podcast, none of that would have happened except for Walt Disney. You know? That just speaks
Yeah.
volumes. That just speaks volumes. So
Mhm.
so there you go. Sorry, listeners. You got a zappy old guy here.
Hmm. I hope I don't make any more people cry. I'm sorry, you guys.
No, it's fine, honey. It's fine. It's all good. It's all good. So,
Okay.
so that is that all your Disney history? Is that all you got for us, Sophie?
That is all I decided to do. Yes.
Oh, that's the perfect history, Sophie.
Hmm.
So, that takes us to our Disney Who's Who character for today. And I'm going to try and stump you, Sophie. If
Okay,
I
let's
if I
see
give
how
you
we
the
go.
name of a character, do you think you can pick the movie? It's not a
I feel
character
like
I have
this
ever
is a
used
trick
before.
question.
You
I
want to
feel like
you want to
this
give
is
it
a
a shot?
character from a series. Lay it on me.
It's not a series, it's a movie, I think.
Okay, but I mean, like, it's a bunch of movies. So please, lay it on me.
Oh, no, it's not. I think it's a one-off movie. And the character's name is Dodger.
I want to say Oliver and Company.
Oh, bingo. Good job, Sophie. I'm impressed.
Now, if you had said Georgette, then I would have known immediately.
Well, let me tell you about Dodger. And I got one bit of Did You Know that I think you'll find really cool.
Do tell.
Dodger, as we all know, is street smart and fast on his paws. Dodger is a born leader. This Jack Russell Terrier is fearless and devoted once he decides he likes you. He's also easygoing and long as you don't ruffle his fur. I almost said feathers, but it's fur. Dodger is Oliver's best friend. That's because Dodger doesn't eat cats. They just have
Nice.
too much fur for his taste. This free, fun loving dog is one cool canine, and he knows it. And now, one piece of Did You Know? And I think this is so cool. I can see this this person being this voice of this character.
Okay.
Did you know that Dodger is voiced by the singer Billy Joel?
I did not know that, but I can totally see it.
Isn't that? I can too. I can too. It makes me
Because
want
I
to go.
remember there was a song in that movie, and it was called Why Should I Worry, I believe. And now that I remember it, the the voice who sang it sounds a lot like Billy Joel.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it's
that makes
kind of
perfect sense for me.
yeah, and I think that is so cool. I think I'm gonna have to go on a Disney Plus and watch Oliver and Company.
Definitely. I would love to watch Oliver and Company.
Yeah. All right, and now I have my Walt Disney quote, and it's on the subject of life. Okay,
Okay.
and I think this quote by Walt Disney fits perfectly with our topic for today regarding Night of a Million Lights. And let's listen. He says, "Faith I have in myself, in humanity, in the worthwhileness of the pursuits, in entertainment for the masses. But wide awake, not blind, faith moves me. My operations are based on experience, thoughtful observation, and warm fellowship with my neighbors at home and around the world." And I think that warm fellowship is why Disney donated the lights in your background picture and in my background picture to give kids the world.
Yep.
That is, I think, why that happens. You know, things like that happen because of the legacy of Walt Disney.
I agree.
So, so that's my Walt Disney quote for today.
Well, that is an amazing quote for today, and I think this was one of our best episodes yet.
I think so too. And let's round it out. Why don't I talk about the charity spotlight and then
All
you
right.
do our sponsorship quote? Sound good?
Okay. That works.
Okay. Well, since the beginning of October, we've been talking about the Neuse River Golden Retriever Rescue. And we're going to keep talking about them until the end of this year. And they are our focus for a special charity that we want to talk about. And they work to help abandoned golden retrievers find their forever home. As a family, we have used them twice now. Once with our first golden, Reagan, and the second time with our current golden, River, and they are wonderful to work with. You can reach them at goldenrescuenc.org. That's their website. And as a family, we're going to make a donation to them. And if you feel led to donate to them, you can do so on their website. They have a donate button. Um, they rescue golden retrievers from around the world, but they only adopt out um, in the 100-mile radius around Raleigh, North Carolina. So if you live in this area and you're interested in maybe thinking about getting a dog for your family, I would highly recommend that you look at their organization. But if you feel led towards donating towards them, then please feel free to do so, um, because they are a definite worthwhile charity, and they do a lot of work for incredible, um, for a lot of great golden retrievers. Since November 30th, they have for this year they have adopted out 143 dogs. So,
Mm-hmm.
and one other thing about their about this time of year is um, they have a holiday catalog, and they have, I think, a calendar that um, you might be interested in looking at. Yes, they do for 2021. And they also have a planning calendar, and they have a means for you to use a mobile or desktop app called ShopRaise. And when you make a purchase at a retailer, then they will receive a donation just through your regular essential shopping. So you could shop online and benefit them as well. So go check out their website. Again, it's goldenrescuenc.org. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the Neuse River Golden Retriever Rescue. So,
Great one. Great charity. We love them.
yeah, absolutely love them. They
Mm.
are they are right up there on our list of ones we love. So,
Yep. And now, for our sponsorship, On the Road with Mickey is sponsored by Pixie Vacations by Mike Ellis and Tech Solutions NC. If you have any computing or travel needs, reach out to them. Tech Solutions is found at techsolutionsnc.com or on Facebook, and you can reach Mike for travel needs at mike@pixievacations.com or on Facebook at Pixie Vacations by Mike Ellis. Everyone, thank you for being with us for this episode. This one was extremely heavy and extremely emotional for the both of us.
yeah, but it was a very good episode. I think you're right, Sophie. And I
Mm-hmm.
have an idea for next week.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was thinking, and please tell me if we've done something that fits this. But I was thinking about our topic next week being off the beaten path at Disney. And it's talking
Hmm.
about, the things that people don't think about. Tom Sawyer Island, Swiss Family Treehouse,
Mm-hmm.
um, having a pool day at your resort, um, resort hopping to visit little, the shops and things like that. And then
Yes.
even if you do a vacation package, you get a card with your package, and you can get like a round of mini golf for free. Things like that. Things that you don't do very often. So they're kind of off the beaten path.
Yeah, and I remember
Excuse me.
we actually did get that mini golfing card, but we just didn't use it, Aunt Sheila and me.
Right. And we got one too, but um we didn't have the time to do that.
Yeah,
So maybe on our next trip we'll do that. But anyway, I thought that might be a fun little, the movies at the resorts.
that's right. That
Going
could be
over
something
to
we could
and
talk
then going
about.
over to Fort Wilderness and doing the Chippendale campfire cookout, things like that. All sorts of little things that just add up to an incredible time at Disney. What do you think?
I think that is a wonderful idea.
So next week's topic is off the beaten path at
Mm-hmm.
Disney, and we are looking forward to that. I'm already looking forward to it. All right, Sophie. Well, thank you. And guys, we will
See you
see
on
you
the
on the
road.
road.
Bye.
Bye.